Hey you guys, it's your girl Echelle, and welcome back to Talk That Talk Tuesday, where we sit and tell how we feel. As y'all can tell, I'm one deep because you know I am the show. Tell what we sipping on, yeah. Tell what we sipping on. Not gonna talk too much on what I'm sipping on because y'all, I'm sipping on what I've been sipping on for weeks on this show, and it's the Chardonnay. It's good. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and leave the link down below for this, what I'm drinking, because I like it and I have a feeling that y'all gonna like it, and it'll be good if y'all, you know, when you watch this show or watch my shows, you can pick up your glass and stick with my ass. Bars. So yes, so today's topic, I am going to be talking about colorism. I'm going to be talking about light skin versus dark skin. I'm going to be talking about the women, and I'm also going to be talking about the men. So we all know, or if any of y'all have been keeping up, I'm not going to mention this artist. I'm not even going to, you know, because like I say, this is not a gossip show, and I don't run a gossip channel either. But if you do stay in tune with the Shade Room or with YouTube or whatnot, there's a specific YouTuber, now artist, who is being called a colorist from previous comments that she had made. And a lot of people is talking about, a lot of people feel like she's not a colorist, and there's not, you know, it's nothing that she said that was wrong. And then you have a lot of people that feel very strongly about what she said. And if you want to, if you want to know who artist I'm talking about, you can go ahead and email me, or you can DM me and I'll let you know. But anywho, so we're going to talk about colorism. It's something that's been going on for so long, and I'm just going to give my input and basically what I kind of went through as being a dark-skinned female. So for the ones that don't know, colorism, so yeah, it's basically a discrimination based on skin color. And I feel like colorism is definitely real. We see it in our everyday lives. We also see it on TV. We see it in movies. We see it on show. Like you just see it, you know. And I'm gonna just say it, and I'm gonna just put it out there. You see that lighter complexions are definitely more liked and loved, and preferred in a lot of situations. And it has definitely affected a lot of people, and I won't say that it's just affected dark-skinned people, or dark-skinned women rather. It's, affected light-skinned women a lot of the times as well. Colorism, I just want to say, is very sickening to me, because I tend to see it more so in my community, you know, in my black community, you know. And like last week's episode, I was talking about how black men tend to get a lot of black men, not all, but a lot of black men tend to get upset when they see black women with white men, but they don't understand that, you know, they put so much pressure on us, or not even just pressure, but they apply so much negativity on us because of our skin complexions, and we're ugly, and we're not exotic enough, and we're this and we're that. And it's like they don't understand that they are colorists. And I feel like, you know, let me order myself really quickly. I feel like people sometimes aren't even aware of their comments and the things that they say. You know, being a lighter complected person and saying things like, oh, them black bitches are hating on me because I'm light skinned and I got good hair, and they have nappy ass hair, and they this, they that, they look like roaches, and they mad because I look pretty. That is very colorist. That is very, just the fact that you can say that about someone who is black like you are, you know, to say that someone's hating because of your skin tone is like, I don't know. But then a part of me, I also like, you know, follow me, y'all. Follow me. I never understood how, you know, for the longest, I never understood how a light-skinned person felt like they were under attack by anything. I didn't understand how a light-skinned person could ever feel like they were going through colorism or people were coming for them because they were light. Because the things that people will call them light bright or yellow crayon or sun or yellow bone, red bone, like those things never sound bad. Those things never sounded terrible, you know. And it's like when they would say things like, oh, they will call me the sun, or they'll call me Big Bird, or they'll call me this, or I'm like, how is that an insult versus being called a monkey or a roach or a burnt biscuit or a gorilla or all, you know, all this, a roach, like a bug, all those things. Like, how does that compare to being called a sun or a yellow crayon or whatever? Like, how does that compare? And it just really hurt me because I always felt like, I'm going to keep it real, I always felt like light-skinned women would just say that those kind of stuff hurt them just because they know that it was true, that they were always preferred, that they were always looked at the prettiest or the best, and the comments that were said about them were never as bad and disturbing as the ones that dark-skinned women will get. And I felt like that for the longest, but I wanted to know everybody's perspective. So I created a series on my blog last year called Melanin Madams. And I created it to understand each and every woman's story. And not just women, black women's story. What was it? Because I had to, I didn't want to live my life thinking, okay, it was just dark-skinned women. I wanted to know everybody's story in the black community for women. I wanted to know. And it kind of eased me a little bit, because what may hurt me as a dark-skinned woman might be the same thing that hurt that light-skinned woman, but in a different, you know, in a different way. You know, it may not sound like an insult to me, basically. You know, being called a light bright or yellow, whatever, may not be an insult to me, but it's an insult to them. Because, you know, I met a lot of black women, lighter-skinned black women, that don't like to be compared to an object. You know, if you're going to see me for who I am, not just by the shade of my skin. And I had created this Melanin Madams. Y'all can definitely go check that out. I'll leave the link down below. The stories really hit home for me. And follow me, y'all. I know I'm jumping here and there, but you know that's why it's called Talk That Talk, because I'm just talking. So y'all just follow me. Growing up, I went through a lot with the name calling for being a dark-skinned woman. A lot of the names, to the point where I always said, if I have kids, I want to have mixed kids. I want to have mixed kids. I want to have lighter skinned kids, so that they will never ever experience what I experienced. And that was my goal. because I did not want my kids to go through that. I wanted my child to be lighter complected. I wanted my child to have features that were desirable in the world, that were desirable in everyday people, that were desirable on TV. I wanted my child to have that, so that they wouldn't have to experience what it felt like to be called a monkey, or what it felt like to be called a burnt biscuit, or what it felt like to be called dirt and mud, and what it felt like to be called ugly because of being dark complected. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm getting kind of emotional. I'm not going to do that. This talk that talk. This is not cry that cry. I didn't want my child to go through that. And I began to really hate myself because it was hard that being a 12-year-old, 12-year-old, being called such horrendous names every day. I started to see that in the mirror. And I wasn't being called this stuff by white people, Hispanic people, Indian people. I was being called this stuff by black people. Black people. I couldn't process my mind. And I never forget, I was in 7th grade and I had friends in my gym class. We all had roll call. We all had our lines, that we had to sit in when we got into gym in 7th grade. When roll call was done, we could split up and go with our friends or whatnot. I went with my friends. They were all sitting down talking, and one girl I will never forget. I remember her name. I just remember her. When I see her, I always think about, girl, do you remember what you said to me? She said to me, "This is the light skin committee. Your black ass don't have no right to be over here." And immediately I looked at the group of friends that I had, and they were all light skinned. They were all light skinned, and I was indeed the darkest one. And I just remember standing up, and this feeling like came over me, and I just felt so ashamed. I immediately felt so ugly, and I remember I started crying. And then my one friend at the time, she told me, she was just all like, ignore her. She was like, ignore her. She doesn't know what she's talking about. I'm going to shout her out. Hey, Star. I don't know if you remember that. I don't know if you remember that you even said that and stood in the gap and took my hand and brought me over there with the rest of the girls. But hey, girl, thank you, Star, because you really touched me that day. But I couldn't believe it, because I was already getting called names by the guys in the classroom, but the fact that I had my girls and this one girl just tell me that, it just felt, I don't know. And that's when I awakened to the whole dark skin versus light skin thing. And that's when I kind of started to see, there's a little tension there. You have the light skinned girls. And I'm going to keep it real with you. I always seen that the light-skinned girls were praised. They could walk around with their head up and beautiful and this and that. But the dark-skinned girls were always being called things. And, the fact that they could say these things and think that it was okay is what hurt. Because I would always feel like we're all black. At the end of the day, a white person, I'm going to keep it real, going to call both of us niggas. It don't matter if your skin is light, bright, or dark. We both going to be called niggas. If it go down, we all going down. Ain't no, it ain't none of that, And it just was a lot. And it took, so moving on in this conversation, because I can go on and on. If y'all want me to make a more in-depth video, I will. But it took a lot of knowing that I can't run from myself. I am who I am. God created me who I am. I look like this for a reason. I am this shade for a reason. And it took that, and it took a lot of that, to the point now where it's like I embrace my skin tone. I embrace my darkness. But I accepted myself. I loved myself. Pushing forward, I became this woman who loves her skin tone. You know, like I said, I've grown an understanding about light-skinned women. You know, I definitely don't have any hate in my heart for any black woman, any woman, period. I don't have any hate. But I still feel like a lot of the times it's, in my opinion, a lot of the times I don't feel like they feel offended by some of the things that they are called. I feel like because dark-skinned women express how they feel about themselves, or how they feel, what it feels like to be a dark-skinned woman, I feel like lighter-skinned women feel like, okay, well, let me join this, let me tell you how I feel. And I feel like that's not right. And are there dark-skinned women that probably hate on light-skinned women? There probably is. There probably is. You know, just imagine if you're getting compared to something so much, and, you know, having someone tell you you will look so much better if you were lighter. You know, you kind of can't help but develop a hate for the lighter complected person that they're comparing you to. It's just not right. We have to learn to come on one accord. We have to learn to love each other. You know, we are going through so much as a whole. We're going through so much. We are so hated. So for us to have that inside hate is disturbing. And it's a weakness to the outer party. They are going to continue to target us by our weaknesses. That's how it always is. That's how opponents always get their competitors, as they target you by your weakness. So they're going to see they still got this dumbass light skin versus dark skin complexion shit. So I'm going to come for them. I'm going to come for them by this. I'm going to pump this group head up, and I'm going to make this group feel low, or I'm going to make this group feel high and make this group feel low. Like, they're going to always, we have to see each other. We have to look at each other as kings and queens. We have to respect each other. You respect the queen, you respect the king. We got to respect each other. Together, we can blossom and become whatever. You know, uplift each other. Uplift each other. So what if you don't like dark-skinned women? Okay, if this is to my ladies out there, this black man doesn't like dark-skinned women, that's fine. That's fine. Because everybody has their preference. Everybody has what they like, what they don't like. And I have my preference. So, you know, you have your preference. But where a person goes wrong with their so-called preference is when they try to make their preference a fact. And it's like saying that lighter skin or white women or Hispanic women are way prettier than dark skinned women, and you apply it as a fact is where you're wrong. You stick to your preference, and that's it. You stick to your preference and keep your mouth shut on whatever it is that you don't like. You know what I mean? Shut your mouth up. Period. Point blank. That's how I feel. Just because you prefer lighter skinned women does not mean you have to shit on darker skinned women. You do not have to do that. Keep your mouth shut. You can still respect me and not like me. Period. Period. Or if you are a dark skinned or a light skinned man that that prefer dark-skinned women, you do not have to shit on light-skinned women in order to love dark-skinned women. You don't have to do that. And I feel like I get so sick of, I'm sorry, I have to call it out how I see it, men doing that. If you like something, like it for what it is. You do not have to shit on whatever it is. Like, don't tear us apart because you don't like one over the other. Don't do that. Like what you like, love what you love, but let's respect each other. In fact, I'm going to make a shirt that says, let's respect each other. Like, period. Let's do that. Let's uplift each other. Hey, king. Hey, queen. I mean, we ain't got to do all that. I honestly am not a person that likes that. Hey, queen. Hey, king. I personally don't like that type of lingo. But I will respect you as that. You know? So I just feel like we have to come together and watch what you say and how you say it. You know, what you say can really affect a person. Not everybody's hating you because you're light skinned. Not everybody's hating you because you got long hair. Like, no, like stop the mambo jumbo. Maybe people feel some type of way about you because you walk around and try to shit on people who you feel like you look better than. Period, point blank. And I'm just calling it how it is. I'm just saying it how it is. And for my dark skinned women, we have to learn to love who we are. Who we are. We have to learn to embrace ourselves. We have to learn to love our complexion that we're in. You're beautiful. Stop putting your beauty, how you feel about yourself, in someone else's hands, because that person can pick you apart and make you feel ugly. Also have to sometimes understand that in a lot of situations, it's not always about the dark skin versus light skin. You know, this guy may not like you just because you're dark skinned. He might not like you because he just doesn't like you, which is fine. Some people just don't like you. Some people don't just like me. It don't have nothing to do with color. Or that girl may not even be worried. That light-skinned girl may not even be worried about you. You know, she may not even think she's better looking than you. And that's why I'm saying we have to break this wall and this build up down. We have to. We just have to. But we're beautiful. We're all beautiful. And to end this, guys, like I said previously, we have to come together. We have to come together. We have to love each other. Embrace each other. Embrace each other. And that is why I created Melanin Madams, because I, for one, want to embrace and love my black women. We have torn each other down for so long. We have beefed with each other for so long. It's not about being light-skinned and it's not about being dark-skinned. Because at the end of the day, baby, we bleed the same blood. We shed the same tears. Period. So there's no reason for us to be competing with each other. You a bad bitch. I'm a bad bitch too. Period, point blank. Let's uplift each other. My black men, let's uplift each other. You know, let's uplift each other. You don't have to like me. You don't have to like me. You don't have to prefer me. But respect me. Same with me. I don't have to like you. I can prefer a light-skinned dude over a dark-skinned dude, or a dark-skinned dude over a light-skinned dude. But I'm going to respect you, period. I'm not going to talk about you. I'm not going to say belittling things about you. Period. We cannot do like that. We have to end this colorism shit. It's not cute and it's not cool. We're just as bad as the people that are racist in our own community. How can we do that? How can we come for white people coming for us when we coming for each other? It's not cool and it's not right. We gotta do better. We gotta live better. Hey, you guys, I hope y'all like this video. And if you are someone that has, you know, gone through, you know, discrimination because of your skin tone, please comment down below. And if you are a person that discriminates someone because of their skin tone, comment down below, because I love discussing things with people that are on the opposite spectrum of me. I love discussing it because I feel like we can come on a even ground together, you know. So let's talk. This is Talk That Talk for a reason. Let's talk that talk. Thank you guys so much for watching. You know, if today is Talk That Talk Tuesday, go ahead and go on to my channel and watch Music Monday, because that came out yesterday. Y'all check that out. Y'all send me scenario messages, like let me know what it is that you have, a topic, you need advice on something. I am here to discuss it. This is Talk That Talk. Send it all over. If there's a specific person that you already seen on Talk That Talk and you want them to be on a specific episode on a topic that you're seeing me, let me know, because we can go ahead and schedule them to come on over. Thanks again for watching. Until next episode.